Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video we're going to look at how to install the Docker engine on Ubuntu Server. Okay. Now the Docker engine comprises of the Docker desktop, Docker CLI, and Docker Compose, okay, and other Docker plugins. So all that inclusive is Docker engine. So I have my Ubuntu server here. This is a C3 medium Ubuntu instance on AWS. So we have access to the SSH port through port 22. So inbound rule. So what I'm gonna do is try to connect to this instance via the terminal. Now I'm just gonna use the EC2 instance connect, right, instead of using my local terminal. Okay, so this is our server. Now search for Docker on Google. Go to get Docker and Docker engine install, and it's Ubuntu. Right. So there are two ways of installing Docker. One is using the apt repo or installing it from a package. In this instance, I'm going to use the apt repository or apt repository. All right. So here we have the commands that we need to use. All right. Now, whenever you're installing Docker, you install it as a root user. Okay. So I need to run it as root. Okay. So sudo su, you can use that to go to your root user folder, or you can use sudo -i. Both of them work. Okay. So I'm gonna copy these commands and then I'll post them here. And then press enter. Instance is done. Now all this does is to download the apt repo onto your local server. Okay. So now we can copy this command to install the. Now you can see we have the Docker C. This is the Docker engine or the Docker command line. We have CLI, container D, and then plugin for Docker and Docker Compose. Let's run that. Yes. Okay, that's done. Next, now that everything is downloaded, let's check to see that everything is working by running a docker run command. This is as if you are trying to run a Docker container, and this container is hello world, so it's pretty easy. Okay, so when you run that, you see hello from Docker, so it means Docker is correctly installed. All right, but so far we've been using the root user, so we have to do some post installation setup so that we can use our run Docker and other containers using the Ubuntu user. Okay, when we get out of the root user privileges. And for that, scroll down to continue to post installation steps for Linux. Okay, and that's to manage Docker as a non-root user. So we have some commands here to run. All right, so we're gonna add the Docker group. Okay, it already exists. Okay, if it already exists, then let's add the user to the group. Now as an Ubuntu user, I'm gonna run the Docker command here to see if it works. Okay, permission denied, trying to connect to Docker daemon socket. You're using a virtual machine, okay, on AWS. So that's why this condition is here. It says that if you're using a virtual machine, it's best to restart it for all the changes that you've made to take effect. I've restarted the instance, so I'll try to connect using my local terminal. So in a new window, clear this. So let me make it bigger. Then I'll cd into my downloads folder. Now my key pair is Ubuntu key. Okay, so it's right there. So I'm gonna change mode 400 to the key pair. This will change it, make it executable, and then I'll run my command -i Ubuntu key, and for the server, if you click on connect, you see that the user is Ubuntu. Okay, so Ubuntu at the IP address. This is the public IP. And you press enter. Yes. Okay, so we are in the server. Now let's try to run the Docker. Yeah, so you see hello from Docker. So it means for the user Ubuntu, Docker is correctly installed, and then for the root user where we actually did the installation, if you do Docker run hello world, it also works from there. Okay, so that's just some post installation setup that you have to do for Docker. All right, please like, comment, and subscribe.